Hello YouTube, I am a talking corn dog, and I figured, since I'm a long-time Metro fan, that I should make a video talking about Metro Awakening. Because, I don't know, I really like this game, and I've seen, a big thing people mention is the mixed reviews on Steam. So, yeah, figured I would look into it a little bit, just because I was curious, talk about it, and what better place to do that than within the Metro itself. So here we are. I'm gonna try to avoid any spoilerying stuff. This is pretty early in the game. And here we are. So, I figured I would just, talk a little bit while exploring the wonderful Metro. And I figured I'd just talk about the different things people are saying, mostly on Steam. That's what I mostly hear brought up, is the mixed reviews on Steam. Because on the Quest and I think on PlayStation, I looked a little bit, sorry, I'm not super investigative guy. Looked a little bit, and it seemed the reviews are better on there. And I think a big reason is that is because of technical issues, it seems to be. But there's some other problems I would like to talk about, because technical problems I can't really talk about since I'm playing on a Quest 3, so, I mean, you can probably tell by everything looking less good. But yeah, so I play on Quest 3, can't really talk about technical issues. That's, look to some PC reviewers, but I think that's one of the bigger reasons. I see that repeated a lot in the different reviews I've seen. But there's things I did want to cover that I actually can talk about, despite being on a Quest 3. And that is, talks about it not being a true Metro game, which is, I think, really weird because it has all the Metro-y stuff. This is very Metro-y, to me at least. The weapons, the enemies, the environments. It's pretty dingy. The game, at least for me on the Quest 3, I've had no technical problems whatsoever. I've beaten the game already. I'm doing a little replay thing here. If you're wondering why it's so quiet, I've turned off dialogue so that way I'm not cutting into characters talking a bunch and stuff. So that's why it's so quiet. Because I want to, just me and anybody else interested in this, just hanging out in the creepy Metro tunnels. And then, yeah, I figured it would be a good place to talk about it. So, about it not being a Metro game, I think it very much is. I'm a fan of the other Metro games. I played Metro 2033, Last Light, Exodus. I beat 2033 Last Light on the hardest difficulty. Exodus, I haven't yet because that game is a huge pain in the butt on the hardest difficulty. I will someday, alright? I'll get there. But, for now, I haven't yet. But, I've played all the games, I've enjoyed them, I beat them multiple times. This one I'm going to do a second playthrough yet at some point. I really liked the first time I went through it, I want to go through it again. This is not actually going to be my second playthrough, this is just me exploring and hanging out. So, there was a lurker. As you can see, he looks pretty Metro-y. Game. Now, another complaint. This one I do agree with a decent amount. Also, sorry about this blue circle. My boundary is so tiny. It's so, I don't know what I'm trying to do there. Really small. So I kind of have to have this unless I want to punch a wall or kick my bed or something. So yeah, sorry about that. Just ignore it. It's not there. But another thing, this is another big criticism, and this one I actually do agree with, and that is the lack of interactivity in the environment. This earlier level seemed to have a little bit more. See, I can't even pick up this teddy bear. Oh, whoops! I just touched my bed. Anyways. So yeah, there is a lack of interactivity. A lot of games, a lot of your games, you'd be able to pick up that plate. You'd be able to probably mess with some of this stuff. These maybe not, but you could probably wiggle this guy in some other VR game. So yeah, that I do agree with. mostly. You know, for me personally, it doesn't like super detract from the experience. I still very much am immersed in the environment here. I've had almost no technical problems. I had one where my gun was like kind of wigging out, but that was the worst of it. Little buggies. And yeah, I had no crashes or anything. So on the Quest 3, if you want to get out of Quest 3, for me it worked great. Again, I don't want to speak for all Quest owners. You might want to get some second opinions on this, because, you know, technical problems happen with different people's stuff. So yeah, lack of interactivity, I will agree, that is kind of a problem. It depends on like each person. Some people that might be like a complete deal breaker. They refuse to touch the game. Pardon me. Come at me, bro. Do I even have any extra? I don't. Alright, well. Almost out of ammo. So. Well, where was I? Something Metro. Lack of interactivity, right. So, for me, personally, not a deal breaker. I still very much enjoyed the game, despite, like, you know, some other games you could probably mess with some stuff. You're like, even these bottle caps, you know, you can probably mess with that. I hope maybe they add stuff with patches. It'd be cool if, like, a little bit at least, you know, like this hat, this stuff would be nice. Not like mandatory, I still think. Well, that's. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be getting started. They have rocks. I like that. These guys are dead as hell. Yeah, so for me, not a deal breaker. If you're playing a VR game and you can't, like, pick something up, like some random piece of trash or something here, and that, like, ruins it for you, just heads up, you know, this game not super interactive with stuff. You can't pick up, like, that bottle I just threw there. Bottles, cans, usually it's for stealth stuff. So, you know, like, you'll find bottles, cans, or some other things. Oh, I gotta charge my flashlight. So yeah, interactivity, that's another really common complaint I saw. That one I do kind of agree with. There is not a lot for a VR game. So if that bugs you a bunch, then yeah, maybe skip it, or, you know, up to you. But I will say, if you are a fan of Metro, you've played the games, at least for me, I played the games, and if you're a fan of Metro, I think you'll like this game. And VR isn't horribly expensive. I still sometimes see people say, like, oh my goodness, VR is so expensive and experimental, but it's like you could get like a Quest 3S or whatever the later version is that still has the good card thing. Look, I'm not a very technical smart guy, alright? Whatever it's called, that one you get for like $300. So that's like, you know, console prices. But yeah, like it's not crazy expensive anymore. VR is not any more expensive than like anything else really. Like, we get an Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, you know. I don't think it's that wild. Now, you know, PC VR, where you get the really nice graphics, that is still pretty pricey. Because you need a PC, and then you need to get a VR. So that is up to you. For me, I got the normal Quest 3. And, I mean, I think the game looks good, but then again, I'm not a big stickler for visuals, you know. I'll play older games and still enjoy them. I'm not too horribly picky when it comes to visuals in my video game. Like, for me, like, this looks nice. This isn't the best environment to show, it's just a gray room, but for me, it looks like enough for me to just be like, yeah, this is me in the Metro. Another thing I've seen people talk about, now that I'm staring at my hands, is, come on, alright, sorry, is no arms, no body. I'm just a floating pair of hands. Now, for me personally, again, I'm going to say a lot of stuff, me personally, because different VR people, different things. For me, I didn't really notice it when I'm playing, maybe because it's so dark. For me, like, I didn't mind the floating hands. Again, personal preference. I hear a lot of VR, other people's on comment sections or whatever, say the same thing. They're like, hey, when you're actually in the game, you don't notice it. And for me, that's the truth. For me, when I'm, like, in the game, fighting stuff, action-y action, or exploring and being spooked, then I don't really notice it. I don't think about it very much. Then I have no hands and no body. So yeah, another complaint that's down more to personal preference. I've seen some people being like, ew. no arms, not getting this game. So, you know, another thing, personal preference. I'd rather have no arms than buggy arms. But then again, you know, make arms better, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a technical VR person. I didn't even have a VR that long. I got it like, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Like, I'm pretty new to this stuff. I mostly got it for Metro, because I was like hyped because new Metro game, finally. A lot of people talking about like talking about the fact that it's a new Metro game and it's only in VR. This isn't really a complaint like people are having with the game itself. It's more so we see like YouTube comment sections on trailers or other things where people are like, why VR, you know? And I think I don't know, VR's not that expensive. A lot of people are like, oh, why VR? VR is so expensive, but it's not, you know, it's not cheap either. You know, $300 is $300, or 300 tax is like more. So I won't be talking, yapping, oh, I got it, you know, it's, you know, I spent a lot of money on this, it's expensive. That shouldn't have scared me. That was my last bullet too, holy shoot. That was my last bullet. Yeah, I got no more bags. Well, last bullet. Somebody knows. But yeah, so what was I talking about? I keep going off topic because of that horrific beings. But yeah, oh yeah, YouTube comment sections. See a lot of that. People talking about, oh, VR is expensive or it's so crappy that it's a VR game. I think Metro is like perfect for VR. Immersive, spooky. I think it fits really well. And I think it is a great world. It's very dark, you know, creepy. Crawling in vents and stuff. I think Metro is really good. And also, it's a little bit of a spin-off game, so it is a little spoilery here. A little bit. Just heads up. Maybe skip like a few minutes ahead. Maybe I'll put a thing on the screen. You play as Khan, which I don't know if that's really spoilery. It was kind of, I think at some point was it told? I don't know. I think it is kind of told, but you know, whatever. And yeah, so you play as Khan, so it isn't like super important, but he is a really cool character. A lot of people have been wanting to know more about. It was a shame he was mostly not in Exodus. He was there like a tiny bit at the oh man, I'm spoiling more stuff. I'm spoiling Exodus. Oh my goodness. No spoilers. He was in Exodus a little bit at one point, but mostly absent from that. And I think a lot of people... Why am I holding this? It's empty. A lot of people wanted to hear more about Khan, or know more about him, because he's a really cool and mysterious character, you know. And in this game, you play as him. You learn his backstory, which, again, I think the story's amazing. I refuse to spoil it. This game is way too new for me to be spoiling it. But the story in this game is just magnificent. Just mwah. For me, again, I feel like I have to keep saying personal stuff because I've seen a lot of other people agree the story's great. I've seen other people say, story boring, characters are poo-poo. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just, you know, not in the knowledge of good stories. I don't know. I've heard some people complain that it's dark and that the flashlight... Oh, right. Oh, I should be moving. Some people are like, you know, they're like, oh, it's dark and you can barely see anything, and it's like a short little bit you can see. It's empty, right? And I mean, I don't know what is the complaint. It's Metro. You've always had limited visibility, where like it's you go, oh whoops, you get into a dark area, you know, you turn your flashlight on and you can't see very much. So yeah, that I don't know at all. That I think is an odd complaint to be having for a Metro game, is like, oh, I can't see very much because it's dark. Like, okay, that's Metro. But yeah, I don't want to be too rude here. Everyone can have their opinions on things, but I think this is a good game. Again, I have kind of like limited VR experience. I feel like a lot of people would kind of write me off then, be like, hey, you're not super knowledgeable on VR stuff, which is true. I played like The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I thought that was pretty good. And yeah, that I got this game, and I have some other games too. I won't yap about all my other games, but I think this is a good game. I mean, I literally binge played it in like 2 days. I feel like I should be saying literally too much. It's kind of weird. I played it in like 2 days. I just played it for like, I don't know. One thing I will say, I don't know how many hours I put in. Another thing, people have been saying, oh, the game's really short. I don't know. I hear a lot of 8, 10 hours. I don't know how to check my hours on Quest, and now I'm playing it again, so now there's going to be more, so it's kind of too late now to see how long it took me to finish it. But I would hazard a guess, I think about 8 hours. I think it took me about 8 hours, because I have the Quest 3 with a battery head strap, so I played about 2 full sessions. So probably about 8 hours. On the hardest difficulty, of course, because only true Metro gamers play on the hardest of difficulties. So yeah, I think the game is long enough, and the story did make me cry. I am kind of an emotional person, so I cried at the end of Exodus 2. So I won't give that a seal of approval like, oh. So, and I think that's most of the complaints. Ooh, rifle rounds. Yeah, so my takes on all that stuff. Again, I'm a longtime Metro game player, so that might kind of, make you think less on my opinions about things, because I like the series. Obviously, I might be a little biased because, it's a new Metro game, I want to experience all the cool stuffs. So, up to your opinion if you think that I'm just full of crap. That's fair. But as someone who's played the series, who loves this series, this game is a great game for me. I loved it. Love playing it. The gameplay is really good for me. The shooting is satisfying. Enemies appropriately recoil when being hit with a bullet, which is nice. I feel like the hard difficulty could be a little harder. I only died a handful of times. Ooh. What's going on? Stop yapping. Ooh, bullets. Yeah, I feel like the game could be like, look, another game you can pick up that boot, I guarantee you. Game could be harder, probably. There was some really intense moments. Again, no spoiling, but there were some moments that were really intense, but mostly it wasn't too hard. Compared to some of the other games, like Exodus, I still gotta beat that game on the hardest difficulty. But I will say, I was really nervous for Metro. I saw it was being made by a different studio, and I was like, please, every other game in the Metro series is so good. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody who says Exodus wasn't good, get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I loved Exodus. Exodus was my favorite. Again, another thing that to some Metro fans might invalidate my opinion on the series. Because a lot of people kind of just like, oh, Exodus is way too different, not good. It's not all the Metro, or mostly the Metro. And, fair enough. I won't be a party pooper. You can have your opinions on Exodus. But yeah, I think the game's great. I think it looks good. Another thing, people will say the game looks like garbage. I've seen some people be like, it's got like Nintendo 64 graphics. I don't know. I've seen some people say this game looks trash. Again, I'm not. Oops, I'm dying. Ugh. Sweet. I'm not a huge VR, I haven't played a ton of VR games yet. I'm still pretty new to this. And for me, the game looks good. I mean, obviously I'm on a Quest 3, so some stuff obviously isn't going to look as good. That's pretty obvious. I saw one person say the Quest 3 graphics suck, and I'm just like, I mean, it's the Quest 3. It's not exactly gonna blow your balls off. But it looks good for me. I was really immersed in the world. I never was like, oh, this looks so bad that okay, there was one time where a guy's magazine didn't load it. That was kind of weird. But that was it. That was the only time where it took me out. There's a bunch of creepy music playing. I'm just yapping about Metro. I think we're in the clear here. Ugh. But yeah, I think this game works well. There is still good VR interactions. Well, you can't pick up everything in the environment. There's still these power boxes. Flick on, oops, flick, flick, or just flick. You can do flick 'em. So I think that's pretty good. I don't like all the creepy music, but I'm sure that's fine. But yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of just angry. I don't think the game deserves a mixed. I think it deserves at least positive, which it is really close. I see a lot of people, oh, the Steam reviews are mixed, but it's 69 or some percent. I don't know what it is now. I checked like yesterday, so I'm sorry if it's changed. And now it's suddenly like 20% positive, mostly negative. Nah, I don't know. But I checked a little while ago. It was like 69%. It was pretty close to just being positive. So, and I think the game's good. Again, I think most of the reviews talk about technical problems, which I'm on a Quest 3. I can't talk on PC technical issues. So I'm sorry if that's a big thing. Can I just like punch this off? I don't want to shoot it. Why isn't my gun loaded? That's just back the way I came. I don't even want to go that way. Anyways, yeah, so can't talk on technical issues because I play on Quest 3. I haven't had any on here, so I feel bad for anybody else. Oh shoot, I took my mask off. I love the radiation effects where your just vision's melting away. That's really creepy. Well, it's disturbing. But yeah, I think I'll probably end it off here. Thank you if anybody's even watched close to this far. I just really wanted to talk about this because I love this game, and I saw a lot of people like really not like it. Some people even saying it's a terrible VR game, just trash. And I think that especially is not true. Like, you can have your opinions, or you can say it's just okay, it's not that great. You know, I could respect that. But anybody who says it's like complete trash, like, come on. There's so much effort put into this. The intro is really good. There's so much stuff about this game that I love. I can't wait. I want to do a second playthrough of the game yet. But yeah, I hope, maybe I shed some light as well as I could. Again, new VR player here. But anyways, if you did enjoy, thanks for watching. Maybe give the video a thumbs up. I'm pretty new to YouTube as well. Well, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you some other time. Goodbye.